Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Want to give a little update here as we kick the weekend off. So, as many of you know, we are going to go racing at MHOR today. So, racing starts at 3 o'clock. We are prepping our cars, and I think I have about all done. And I know some people are going to whine and cry, saying Slicks isn't real racing, but Slicks mounted up. They're ready to go. I love Slicks. Like I said, it eliminates a huge variable. And as long as I get some J Concept Smoothie 2 Silvers mounted up, woo, these cars are stuck. So we are taking our 870C and we're taking our RC10 fan graphite. So that's going to be the first run of kind of our RC10 Yokomo shootout. And a couple things I did change on the 870C. If you've been following the channel since the last time I raced it, I do have the Exo Designs bottom shock mounts, so I got those installed because I had just a ton of spacers behind there to try to get the shock angle correct. And if you watch the video on the Yokomo 91 Works, I'm kind of having the same problem, but that's got kind of a captured shock bottom, so I'm either going to have to cut or try to move. And I have an extra spacer kit, and I think these spacers might fit right in between the opening in the Yokomo 91 Works, but I haven't looked at that yet because it's over there. I mean, it's got an antenna on it, for Christ's sakes. So that thing. Look for a video soon on our Yokomo 91 Works. However, this is not that video. So the other thing I did, and I think it's Michael at Kai City RC, and I apologize if that's wrong, but he did comment before about cutting the bumper down, or not cutting it down, but moving it back. So on our 870C, you can see how much we've moved it back. So the original mounting points here, push that bumper out. I mean, I could fit my finger in between the bumper and the front bulkhead. We have now moved that back a good amount, a good 8 millimeters or so. And now we have a much better fit. There's about a 2 millimeter space in between the bumper and the bulkhead. That's going to be plenty. That's going to prevent any face scrub on the face of a jump. So we'll see how that works tonight. So the 870 has been completely refreshed. So it is pretty much like a new build, new under tray, new belts, went through all the diffs and everything on that. So this thing is ready to go. So the other thing is our RC10 is ready to go. So our fan RC10 graphite, that is ready to go. Not much changed on this. So this thing is ready to hit the track. Just got our slicks mounted up, and we will race this thing tonight. So looking pretty good. Love that car. That car's fantastic. Diff is still super smooth. We don't have an Octalock on this, but I am gonna buy some Octalock stuff and get that ready for that thing. So then all my cars are running Octalock, whether they like it or not. The other thing people see in the background, and I wanted to give a little project update, is you see some parts piling up there. Someone's like, well, what are those parts for? Well, let's talk about it. So we have 3 projects lined up over the next month. So, project number 1. About a week back, I asked one, well, what do you guys want to see? Do you want to see a kind of a custom long arm RC10 with a tube chassis? Schumacher Cougar 2 Works. And, someone else noted, oh, maybe a custom RC10T. And, man, I had a hard time deciding between all 3. And I couldn't decide. So we're just going to build all 3. So the first one we were going to do, I think that's apparent, is our custom long arm RC10 with a standard back. So I found a silver clear edition chassis on eBay. Ironically, right after that video, I kind of started looking for tubs, and I got that chassis for $35. That chassis should be in today or maybe Monday, depending on weather here. And we are going to start that build. and I have pretty much everything together for it. The only thing I got to order is a stealth transmission, turnbuckles, ball cups. I have a body. And then I'm trying to figure out the shock package if I'm going to put... I may take the small bores off our custom long arm and put them on there. Or I may leave those on there and put big bores on this. Or big bores on that. Or big bores on both. Because we love our big bores. Except for our RC10. We're leaving that vintage. Because that is our associated vintage race car. Along with our 870C, if that qualifies. We'll see what happens as the rules and stuff evolve. But I was, doing some hard reading the other night. And, pulled out the old Car Action magazine from December 1991, reviewing the Detroit Worlds that were held in August, months earlier. Because back then, we didn't have internet, we didn't have Red RC, we didn't have cellular telephones, all that good stuff that you have at your fingertips today. This was the only way to get your RC fix, was getting your Car Action magazine. So obviously in there, I was going through there, and lo and behold, do people know? I mean, Schumacher was putting it down. So if you can read, both Kevin Moore and Jürgen Lordenbach put their Schumacher Cougars into the two-wheel drive A final. There was only one Losi by Kyle Reed, and there was one Traxxas TRX-1, previously called the Talon, for you historical aficionados. And Scott Montgomery put that into the A main as well. And I believe in Detroit, I believe Jay Halsey was in the C, along with Brian Kinwald as well. And they actually have it is pretty cool. They have a picture of Kinwald's car in here somewhere. But one picture that did catch my eye. Yeah, here's Kinwald's car, the Lilsey prototype. But Schumacher Cougar 2. Ooh! I tell you what, I saw that and I started falling in love. I don't know if I really like the body, because on one page you can see it here and it looks like way bigger and bulkier than the RC10. The RC10, man, that looks like I think that may be Rick Howart's. That thing looks thin and mean. That kind of looks like a fat cat. So, but I think we got to try it. I mean, they were using like a prototype traction control on this thing. Rear sway bars, like, ooh, I think a modern day runner of that could be kind of cool. So, like I said before, I saved up my A-main points. There's a discount code. I got $40 worth of A-main points, so I can get $70 off the Schumacher Cougar kit. So I think that is just a sign that we got to get that coming. So we are going to get that ordered up and should see that here the end of next week. So, and then the third project. And I know trucks are not that big anymore. Ooh. Oh, look at that thing. Vintage. I know trucks are not that big anymore. They're certainly not big at MHOR. I mean, MHOR, you kind of got to damn near have a special class just to get them out there. Oh, look at all this good stuff. But we are going to build a RC10T with a 91 Works double deck carbon chassis. And we are going to go no holds bar and see how well that thing can do against everything else out there. So we are going to give it a shot and see if we can get that thing together. And man, $190 you could buy an RC10 back in the day. Man, I want to give for it to be December 1991. Be a kid, just to show you how old school I am. Where am I in here? I was circling stuff for my mom. I need a Novak speed controller, Mom. I mean, how am I going to get out there and race in the garden without that thing? $89.99. So speed controllers haven't really went up in price too much. Man, I was going to put a Reedy 503 Ultra Torque Mr. D's 14 quad in that thing, paired up with a Reedy 1400 milliamp SCR battery. All to go in my RC10T for $179.99 out of Tower Hobbies. And that was going to get me hooked up and going to the Winter Nationals in Florida. But it never happened because Santa never delivered what I circled in our Car Action magazine. No problem, Santa. So, that is the update. We're going to go racing it more. And what I'm going to do is I will put a video up tomorrow. We'll let you know where we did on our qualifiers, where we finished. And then I'll put a link to MHOR site so that those of you that want to see the race footage can see all that race footage and its glorious competition, because we don't race in our backyard. We don't take our cars in grass. We're going to race these things and remind everybody there's no vintage class at MHOR. So we are 21.5 two-wheel drive and 17.5 four-wheel drive. And we're going to go against those modern buggies and see where we stack up. So, again, guys, a lot of good stuff coming to the channel here over the next month. Look for some cool builds. And the tub car, if we can get that thing together, that for sure will be a giveaway car. So, we will get that out. We're at almost 300 subscribers. If we can get to 500 by, mid-late March, we'll get that car together. And I don't know if we'll do it as a roller or a runner. We may put it together as a runner, run it once. Just got to test it out. I can't, in good conscience, give that car away without knowing how it performs. So we may put that together, run that thing once and see where that thing lands. And then send it on its way, because we're building that basically out of a pile of spare parts I had over here. So I had all those parts together, and we're just going to slap them on a chassis and see where we're at. And one lucky viewer will get that car. And hopefully all you have to do is add your remote and take that thing to the track. So we'll get more into that as we head down the road here, but we need to get some more parts ordered. But for today, man, I gotta finish getting ready for more. So I'm packed. I got my stuff down there with all my tools, charger, shock fluids, all that good stuff. And then we're charging our Noble, getting that together. So that is fully charged by the time we get there. And then I don't know what I'm going to take for a backup car. Maybe I take that. I may grab the B5. I could grab that Jalopy B7 and take that as well, but we'll see. We may not need a backup car, I don't think. I mean, these things are great. So, again, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.